Hello, everybody. This is Tekking here with One Piece Chapter 816 review. Yeah! Dog versus cat. Kind of remind me of that old show, Cat Dog. Remember that? Cat Dog, Nicktoons, Cat Dog? I miss the 90s. Anyway, yeah, this chapter is very brief, though, with everything. So I guess I'll just go with my method of just recapping it really quickly, because not a lot of stuff happens. But don't let that fool you into that, like, oh, this chapter's just boring, or this chapter just maintains the status quo. I guess at the end of the chapter that sort of is the case, but seriously, the ending of this chapter, holy shit. It's not the most exciting thing that's ever happened in One Piece. It's not like Luffy Gear 4th fucking King Kong gun out Doflamingo, but it hits you. It hits you right in the goddamn feels. So basically all this chapter is you have Kinemon and Kanjuro arriving on Zou. They're basically walking into town. That monkey from earlier, Barriete, I think his name was, runs up, rings the bell, and we're all thinking, oh crap, he's going to alert all the minks, and the minks are going to be like rallying to fight against the samurai, because of course that's what Jack was there for. He was there to try to find Raizou, who's a ninja, yet he's a samurai, whatever. Anyway, Robin, Frankie, and Brooke, they were going to stop them. They fell asleep. They wake up. They go to try to find them. Nami and Usopp, they wake up like, Luffy, and like they start running to try to find the samurai, and there's this big scramble going on. The Duke and Nekomamushi, they wake up. They're like, what the fuck's going on? The bell's ringing, so they're rallying their forces. They meet up in the middle of town, which is a big deal because you know that Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, they don't, apparently they used to be friends, but they just do not see each other. This seems like this is the first time they've actually seen each other for years. So they start, quarreling. They start fighting. And it all comes to a head, though, when the samurai actually get caught by the Straw Hats, and it's like, okay, good, we're fine. But then when they see them fighting, Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, Kinemon opens his mouth, and he's like, hey, guys, stop it. What are you doing this for? And all the Straw Hats are like, oh, shit, why did you do that? We just told you not to talk. And Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, they turn, they see Kinemon there, and they realize he's a samurai, and for a second, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen next, and then Kinemon, just without missing a beat, he gets up, he announces himself, I am Kinemon, I am from Wano Kuni, I am a retainer of the house Kogetsu, and I'm looking for Raizou. Have you seen him? Which seems like just about the most insensitive thing you could say, given what we know so far. These guys have listened probably for the past, few days of them being raided by Jack. Where the fuck's Raizou? Where the fuck's Raizou? Kinemon just comes up and he's like, hey, so where's Raizou at? But the end of the chapter and the big shocker is that Inuarashi and Nekomamushi both, at the same time, these are like sworn enemies, mind you, along with all the other minks, they just get on their knees, they bow to Kanjuro and Kinemon, and they state, Raizou is safe. Raizou has been on Zou this entire time. All that fighting with Jack, all that shit going on, that was because the minks have protected Raizou because they had such a bond with the Kogetsu family, or with Wano Kuni in general. Keep in mind, this was not just a normal skirmish. This was not just like, oh, they're attacking the island, they want somebody, we're not going to give them to them. This is the verge of your fucking civilization being wiped out. If the Straw Hats did not show up, and if Caesar was not with them and did not, cure the killer gas, the Korosu gas, they would have been all dead. They would have died. Their civilization wiped off the face of the fucking earth. But despite that, they still hid Raizou, and now that the samurai are here, Kanjuro and Kinemon, they start crying because, like, oh, that we've waited so long, and now they're finally here, and then they're so, like, I guess honored, but also like sort of proud to admit, we saved your friend. We didn't rat him out to that Jack bastard. So that's pretty damn emotional. That's the true meaning of Nakama right there. That's even beyond like Straw Hat level Nakama. That's getting to fairy tale bullshit power up Nakama status in a good way, right? Okay, well, that's pretty much the chapter right there. You have an emotional scene with, like, Usopp, who basically just said the same thing I do. Like, but you guys almost died! And Nekomamushi just kind of pats him on the head. He's like, it's all for honor bound. It's duty. So that's the chapter. Now, Interesting thing, because I really didn't bring this up in the past reviews, but I guess it would have been interesting to note that if up to this point we just figured Raizou was not on Zou. Okay, well then where the hell was he? I guess I just didn't bring that up. I was in a live stream with Zoro Fanboy and the Jorshay the other day, and we were talking about this very briefly. It was mostly a Yonko discussion, but we got on very briefly about Raizou and the like. And we were kind of joking about how, like, oh man, it would kind of be fucked up if Raizou was like really hiding on Zou this entire time. Like he just pops out of nowhere and he's like, "Hi guys, I've been hiding for the past week and almost let all these guys get killed for me." And we were kind of joking about it, but no, he was seriously on Zou, but he wasn't hiding like a coward. He was, they were protecting him because Jack wanted him, and for whatever reason, who gives a shit? I guess the Minks are like, who does? It doesn't matter the reason. It doesn't matter what you did to them. We are friends of Wano Kuni. We are allied with them. We will protect you. So I'm hoping we really get to see Raizou in the upcoming chapter. By the way, next week is going to be on break, so in typical Oda fashion, you just tug at our heartstrings, and you're just like, yeah, no One Piece next week. Something else I also brought up about Raizou, if we do in fact see him in the next chapter or so, is that since Oda and Kishimoto have been known to be friends, Kishimoto the mangaka of Naruto, and since Raizou is like the ninja character in One Piece, I'm wondering if Raizou's character or maybe his design is going to be based off of anything from Naruto. I'm not talking like over the top, but he might be wearing like if he's wearing like a blank, like just a headband, not like having the insignia of any village on it, but just like a traditional normal, headband with like the steel plate on it, something like that. You know what I'm picturing Raizou? I'm picturing him looking like a like he has like a sort of giant shuriken on his back. I don't know why I'm picturing him like that. I think that was the design of a Digimon back in the day. I don't know why. But I'm imagining Raizou with a giant-ass shuriken on his back. So, and that seems to fit Oda's kind of like over-the-top style when it comes to introducing these kind of characters. So, yeah. Momosuke, he meets back up with his dad. So that's good. They meet up. So Kaneno, he announces himself as a vassal or retainer of the Kogetsu family. Or Kogetsu clan in Wano Kuni. Of course, we have no idea what that means. We don't know if that's like a high-ranking thing, because obviously Wano Kuni is going to be ruled by a shogun, most likely. If we're going by feudal-era Japan and how the setup is, there's going to be a shogun. Maybe the Kogetsu family is the shogun's family. Maybe it's like one of the direct, like I'm imagining it's going to be set up like, here's the shogun at top, and here are his best warriors and their families, and then there's these vassal or retainer families that are below them, and then there's the peasants. It's going to be very kind of caste setup, which is messed up in a way, but that's how feudal Japan was set up. So, that's probably how we're going to go with that. Okay, so Raizou is going to be showing up soon, but he's probably most likely going to be a good guy, so I have to bring back to my idea, like, what is going to happen on Zou? Like, I still don't know. Like, we were talking about this the other day. Like, there's really no reason for them to stay here other than just, wait until the Minks recover. There was the issue with Raizou, but that's been solved. They're okay. Maybe Raizou is going to have some information for Kinemon and Kanjuro, and maybe that information is going to lead to something, but the only way I can say them, like, the only reason they would stay on Zou for the entire arc is if they had some sort of obstacle to overcome or some enemy to defeat. There is no such character. People keep saying, well, Jack's going to come back, but I don't see that. I really don't see them bringing back Jack this quickly. I think Oda set up Jack this arc to show us just how powerful the mofo was, but then he's just going to kind of maybe put him on the side and wait to show off later, And I really think we're going to be moving on to the Big Mom arc, And hey, something that occurred to me is that, they're going to try to sneak into Big Mom's fortress, right? And, Luffy's not really one for espionage. None of the Straw Hats really are. I suppose Brook would be with his magical soul powers. But, yeah, in terms of espionage, though, fucking ninja! No shit. So if it's like Raizou, if he turns out to be a really interesting character, they tell him about Big Mom and Sanji, he's like, oh, fuck, yeah, man, we can infiltrate, no problem. Maybe he has a devil fruit that allows him, well, not invisibility, because that was Absalom's thing, but maybe he has some sort of devil fruit that makes infiltrations easier. I guess it wouldn't be, no sound either, because that was kind of Corazon's, but maybe something of the like, maybe something cool that can help the infiltration. Maybe it's like a kind of fruit that allows you to pass through solid objects or something. Some shit like that. I don't know. But, Yeah, so like I said, very short chapter in general, but it really it tugged at your heartstrings, something that really is a big deal. It solved the issue with Raizou. I'm really hoping we get to see him soon. Also, one last thing before I go is I don't usually bring up the cover pages, but I have to bring up this one because it was fucking hilarious, and Frankie is my favorite Straw Hat Pirate. So the cover page is focused on Water 7 this week, and it's the people at Water 7 and Galley La, as well as Iceberg's group and with the Frankie family, to looking at Frankie's new wanted poster, which of course is the Frankie Shogun. It's not really Frankie because the guy that took a picture just assumed that it was Frankie Shogun. Well, it's hilarious because you have Iceberg and everybody looking at the picture like, what the fuck did Frankie do to himself? Did he just decide to go full conversion? He just went full robot? They don't know what to think. They don't know if this is just a robot or an armor or if this is really Frankie. And then you see Mozu, Kiwi, and Konkuro all standing off to the side laughing at it. Iceberg's looking at it like, you know, it's hilarious. So I had to bring that up. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. What are your theories on what Raizou, his character design, what he's going to do? Maybe he may play a part in, you know, raiding Big Mom's fortress. What do you think's up with the Wano Kuni? We had a little bit of exposition on them, not very much. And what is up with Jack? Do you think Jack's going to come back and try to raid Zoe, you know, the second chance, and then we're going to have just the typical One Piece arc where, you know, the Straw Hats and the Minks and the Samurai all band together to defeat Jack or something of the like? What do you think? Leave your comment below. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Later, everybody.